What's good on YouTube? This is Crazy Samus, everyone here bringing another video. Today I'm bringing you a video on Power Rangers Ninja Steel. This is a video regarding a recent change that happened that a lot of people talked about last week. I didn't get the chance to talk about it recently. I never got to really do a cast reveal for Ninja Steel, but a lot of people, I'm sure, knew about it already, and I actually was there for the cast reveal, which was very exciting. Everyone was very happy about it, but you know, it was a very significant time because they revealed the actors of Will Schofeld as Brody the Red Ranger, Peter Siderso, who was supposed to play Preston the Blue Ranger, and it was Chance Simpson, who was supposed to play Calvin the Yellow Ranger, and Zoe Robbins, who was supposed to play Haley the White Ranger, and Christiane Lopez, who was supposed to play Sarah the Pink Ranger. Now, thing is that now things have changed due to some recent discussion where Chance Simpson had to be recast. Like the Yellow Ranger had to be recast as Nico Greetham because there was some, personal stuff going on with Chance Simpson that didn't allow him to keep up what he was doing. So that ended up happening. Thing is that from there what ended up happening was that people, once they heard that he got recast, everyone was assuming at first, oh, it's probably because of like some racial issues. Because one of the things that tends to happen whenever a series gets announced is that everyone instantly looks at the cast and looks at their race, their gender, where they're from, and just kind of analyzes them based off of that, because that's all we really know. We only know where they're from, what they've done in the past, and what their race and their color and the other stuff is. People tend to look at that harshly with like race and stuff, sometimes in a nice way, sometimes in a not so nice way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's something that people tend to view just because there's really nothing else we know at that point as far as their characters go, so instead they view them based off of the people themselves, but not based off of who they are as a person, but more so based off of racial stuff and other things like that. So what ends up happening is that people ended up thinking, oh, it's probably some racial thing because there's no white actors that are like white males or in this series, so like everyone's kind of judging it based off of that because there was no white male that fit that persona, and so they were thinking, oh, because Nico Greetham is white, that's where it fits. Like last series, the way that worked out was that we had like two characters that were white. We had Chase and Riley, so that's what people thought. Michael Tabor and I'm forgetting his name right now, but I'm sure everyone knows the Black Ranger from Dino Charge. You know what I mean? Anyway, James Davis, that's what it was. James Davis, I believe it was. Anyway, thing is that when this ended up happening, everyone got freaked out. Everyone was like, how dare they do this? He got revealed at Power Morphicon, which is my dilemma at first, but like I thought to myself, it's fine, So the thing that basically clarified it for everyone was that we ended up getting this post from Ranger Board that basically shows there has been a number of actors that have been recast in the past. And it's interesting because the actors that have been recast were MMPR Yellow, the original Yellow. Trini was originally supposed to be a different actor, which for those that have seen the original MMPR pilot, the one that was shown on certain specials but never got aired on live TV. If you've seen that one, different actor. I mean, actress in this case. And she's shown up to PMC in the past. So it's interesting to note that. And she was there, I believe, this time as well. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. I feel like I remember hearing that she was supposed to be there. I don't know for a fact if she was, but I know she has been. Anyway, what ends up happening is that, she was recast. Serena Vincent wasn't the original Lost Galaxy Yellow either. Maya was supposed to be cast by some other actress, but some other conflict ended up happening, so that prevented her from being Lost Galaxy Yellow. What do you call it? Wild Force White got recast originally, Jessica Rae, and same with Anne Marie Crouch. She was originally those two actors weren't originally supposed to be, Wild Force White and Princess Shayla. They were supposed to not be in the show at all, but they got recast. But they got put in by being recast as those characters. Then, same thing happened for RPM Yellow. Originally, RPM Yellow was supposed to be someone else other than McIver, who I'm forgetting who like she's been on iZombie now apparently, so that's something important to remember. And the thing is that then this happened, and she's supposed to be RPM yellow, and he's supposed to be Ninja Steel yellow. Now most of these have been yellow, and the thing is that yellow in a lot of seasons where this ends up happening is either like the second most focused or the most focused character for that series. In fact, in most cases it's actually the lesser, but it depends. It depends on how much effort they put into the characters or whatever. But what I find interesting, and this is something that could be by coincidence, this could actually mean something, is that each time the actors there's been recasts, it's always been for important seasons. And you may think to yourself, what do you mean? What I mean is that, think about it this way, MMPR Yellow, first season, right? It's a big deal. First season, does well, continues. Did well, continued. Next one, Serena Vincent. She was the one that got put in as a recast. Thing was, this was after the Zoran era, so it was like, we want to keep on doing well. We want, the first 6 seasons did well. Let's keep it up. Does well, great, keeps going. Goes to Wild Force. Wild Force is the season where right before Disney takes over. Does well, and then Disney takes over. RPM comes. RPM is the last season where it's under Disney's control, and then it moves back to Saban. And then this time, it's Ninja Steel. The thing that's important about Ninja Steel is that as of now, what we know, Nickelodeon hasn't continued. Their contract is supposed to go all the way up to the end of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, or Power Rangers Ninja Super Steel, or whatever it's going to be called for the secondary series for that season. But we haven't had any confirmation as to whether or not it will be reimbursed again, which it could be reimbursed. I'm not saying it won't, but we don't know yet. Now, if it gets reimbursed, then that basically stops the theory. But what I'm noting is the fact that it's important points. So what that could mean is that after this, it might be under a different channel. Saban will still probably own it, but it will probably be under a different channel most likely. So it is something to note. I don't think necessarily that means that this is the end of Nick for it in the next 2 years. Which, I mean, you think to yourself, oh my god, 2 years, how dare they? In 2018, how dare they do that? I'm not saying that's wrong to think, but I think that it's a little too soon to assume things. I don't really know where else they would put it. That's the other question that I would have, is that, Disney and Saban don't get along so well unless they get a lot of control, which is very unlikely, so I don't really expect Disney to take it back. And then there's Cartoon Network, which I don't really see them doing it, because they haven't done many live-action shows in a good number of years now, so I wouldn't expect them to take it back. So I kind of feel like Nick is where they're at, unless something happens. Don't know yet, but I'm expecting something like that. So, don't know, but it is interesting. Personally, I don't mind it as much now. I just, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Do I wish that Chance had the chance to be in it? Lol, there's the pun. Didn't mean to, but you get my point. Yeah, it would have been nice. And I think that he looked much more so the part, and he kind of fit the group a little bit more, while Nico kind of, looks so, he kind of stands out a little too much, in my opinion, because everyone else has a darker complexion other than Christiane, but everyone, I don't know, he stands out just a little too much to me, just because he's not one actor that is white, and he's white and he's blonde. And look, I'm not trying to be racist, because I'm not racist, I really am not, but it is something to note. There is that difference, and it's just interesting, because he stands out a lot. Before, it kind of melded together and it looked good, and Chance actually looked like he was this just fun, light character, which is very similar to the Japanese in that way, because he just had a fun, light appearance and look to him. I'm not saying that Nico can't be that way, and for all we know, they might style his hair, they might do a whole bunch of things differently with how he looks. I don't know yet. They always do different things with each series, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it will be interesting to see what the end result is. I just wanted to talk about that, just because it's people who aren't aware should be aware now that Nico Grissom is the new actor for the Yellow Ranger. So it should be interesting to see how things go. Obviously for any of these series, you can think to yourself, what would have happened if so and so was cast instead? You never know. The thing is that even so, that would have no impact necessarily on the script necessarily. Although at the same time, there are certain things that that would be changed probably slightly. But in most cases, I wouldn't really see much reason for them to change anything. Who knows? Who knows? The only thing I could possibly see is in the cases of like Princess Shea, I don't know how much the original actress was, as far as singing goes. Who knows? But I think that things have been good, and I think that had things stayed, I think that it's fine. I want to see where things go from here, but this is also for me, this video was mainly for me to also just remind you guys, for those that don't know, about the actors that have been cast and about this change, just so that people who need to know are now aware, and those that don't already, and those that do know are reminded of that, and can voice their opinions a little bit here, or just tell me what you guys think. Do you think it was a bad thing? Do you think it was a good thing? What do you think about this? What do you think that they do in the future? Please leave your comments below. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love to know. Do you think this is something good? Do you think that it's okay? What do you feel about this change or anything? Do you think it matters? Do you think my theory about the different series that Ranger Board basically showed off has any connection with the idea of maybe them stopping with Nickelodeon, but then maybe moving somewhere else? Or do you think it's just going to continue, or do you think it's just a coincidence? And personally, that's what I'm leaning towards. I think it's probably just a coincidence that that is the way it has been, because it just is. I don't think that means that Nick is going to stop, but it could. I just don't know yet, because I don't know what other platforms there are for it to be put on, and I don't expect them to go back to Disney, and I don't really see Cartoon Network happening again. So, Cartoon Network happening at all. So you guys tell me what you guys think. And again, I'm Crazy Sarah 71. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, this YouTube channel, and what do you call it? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. That's right. And I will see you guys in the next video. So I'm telling you guys, I'm Crazy Sarah 71, and goodbye, guys.